Hey YouTube, it's your boy Citywide Soul coming at you with a 2 to 3 part review on Saints Row 1 through 4. We got the new revamped Saints Row coming out August 23rd this year, hoping for it to be a banger. I figured I'd make a couple of videos here, just reviews on how Saints Row 1 and 2, how they were so amazing, and how 3 and 4 kind of where the franchise dropped off. So starting off first, we've got Saints Row 1. Coming out in 2006, it was contending with GTA San Andreas that was released back in 2004. A lot of people were saying that Saints Row was just a cheap knockoff of GTA. In my opinion, Saints Row was actually a similar but also completely different game. In GTA, you could only really customize CJ with a few different clothing options and tattoos, and you could make him fat or skinny. In Saints Row 1 here, you're able to fully customize your character. Unfortunately, in Saints Row 1, your character does not have a voice, but as you can see in the background here, I'm making my character, and I'm just making him weird and wacky. You can also make your character a little bit more serious so he looks like he actually would fit into the game world. But sometimes too, it's fun just to make a goof of a character and then play the whole game just wondering like, how can any of these characters talk to your character looking that way? Saints Row 1 only came out on the Xbox 360, didn't come out on the PlayStation or on the PC. Even though it came out on the 360, the video in the background there is taken off my Series X, so it is nice that we are able to do the backwards compatible to play with it. In Saints Row 1 here, we're first introduced to the 3rd Street Saints gang, where we initially start our operation slash gang hideout in an old abandoned church. In a lot of the other Saints Rows, you will hear references coming back to the first Saints Row about our church building. In the first Saints Row, you do have 3 rival gangs, the Lost, the Vice Kings, and the West Side Rollers. In this, you basically get certain people who are assigned to those gangs that you talk to, and through there you wind up, say, playing with talking to Troy or to Dex, figuring out what gang that they're with, and the more missions you do with them, the more you slowly take out that rival gang, and then eventually go and fight the gang leader, take him out. Now we own that turf, and essentially all Saints Row is, you start off as a small kind of unknown gang. There's 3 huge gangs. You slowly build your rep up, taking over more of the city, owning districts, and then from there, at the end of the game, you essentially own the whole entire map, where now you are the #1 and the most powerful gang. In the Saints Row game, it implements a complete side quest in order to fill up your respect meter to do the main missions. This is where the weird and the wacky of Saints Row comes and stands out to me from all the other games. You complete your mini game slash side quest, then you can actually complete the main game. So basically, you do 1 or 2 of the side quests, fill up your respect meter to a level 1, 2, 3, whatever, and then go, once you're done a whole bunch of the side quests, then go play the main story. And it was just a really interesting way to play the game, so then that way everyone has to go and do these side quests in order to complete the main missions. It just kind of gives you the full experience of Saints Row, and I mean, they kind of force it in on you to do it, but it's not like super bad where you're like, man, this is so boring, I wish I could just see what's going on in the main game. It's like you do 2 activities, now your meter's filled up, you can wear certain clothes, and basically if you make your whole character purple, you're going to get extra style points. So then when you complete the side quests, then those style points get added on to your respect meter. Now you can go do some of the main story. In this, for the side quests, you've got Demolition Derby, where you're essentially smashing into other vehicles and trying to be the last vehicle. Once you've completed enough of these, you do get extra rewards at the end, which happen to be the Demolition Derby vehicles that then you can use in free roam. There's drug trafficking, where the drug dealer must be protected, and as they drive around and make drug deals, you've got to shoot the rival people and make sure that you keep your drug dealer alive. There's escort and snatch, where basically you're stealing the lady of the night, bringing them back to their pimps, rescuing them from clients, or driving them from client A to client B. There's hijacking, where you got to go to a specific location, wait until you see that specific vehicle, steal it, drive it to the drop-off point before time runs out. There's the hitman activity where there's a specific target and a location where you go there. You got to wait for the target to come out, then take them out. And the best two, in my opinion, for these side quests are going to be insurance fraud and mayhem. So in insurance fraud, which is personally my number one, you hit your bumpers and your character winds up going limp, and you try and do this in a main traffic kind of area. So then as you're falling to the ground, you're getting hit by a vehicle. Then when you're bounced up into the air, you can kind of control where your character lands, and essentially you're trying to bounce off vehicle 1, smash into vehicle 2, smash into vehicle 3, 4, 5, continues on until you hit your high score meter. Sometimes these are so fun just to see not even what you can do, like if you can hit the, say if it requires you to get $100,000, if you pass that and then now you're sitting there at $2, $3, $4 million because you just keep bouncing off every single vehicle. And sometimes it's fun too when they shoot you so high up in the air just to move over halfway through the map and then hit another vehicle from there and then go back to where you initially started your insurance fraud. With this too, there's mayhem, and mayhem is where you go to specific locations. You have X amount of time to cause as much mayhem as you can. So with this, you will wind up getting sometimes like the Uzi with unlimited ammo. You'll get thinking grenades and stuff like that. You can also use a vehicle, drive over pedestrians, drive into fences, gates, mailboxes, telephones, all of that to basically get as much money as you can. The more, say, if you're driving through a whole bunch of fences, it's going to start giving you combo points and building up and up and up. So sometimes, for me, the best strategy I usually do is grab grenades, and as I'm cruising, I'm just throwing the grenades out the window behind me, so whatever I'm not smashing, the grenades will hopefully blow up and just keep that combo building and building and building. In all of the Saints Rows, I find that they have some banging playlists. In Saints Row 1 here, they've got some really hood-ass rap music. They've got some decent, hard punk rock kind of radio stations. They've also got your classic NPR radio station. They've got a reggae 420 station. Not really cruising around listening to the reggae or to the NPR. There is a classical 2 radio station. Again, didn't really listen to it. I assume if that's the kind of music you're into, there's probably a few decent classical songs. Again, I was never cruising to that. It was more rap or rock. Now, with all these good things being said, there are a few downsides to Saints Row 1. With it, there is some online that you can do, or it's versus and stuff like that, but there was no co-op. Unfortunately, Saints Row 1 is the only Saints Row out of the franchise to not have any co-op. Roughly, this game too is only about 30 hours long if you're just doing basic side missions just to get the campaign done nice and quick. But if you're like me, you're going to do all the side missions, try and find some of the CDs that are hidden throughout the game, or try and find some of the tag spots that are hidden throughout the game. Might take you more like 40 or 50 hours. If you're trying to be a completionist, probably 60, maybe 70 hours. I do believe too that there's stunt jumps that are throughout this whole entire game, but depends how much time you really want to put into it. There is also car customization. You can take your vehicle to a rim jobs, put in hydraulics, put in NOS, customize front bumpers, paints, stuff like that. There is also a plastic surgeon spot, so if you make your character looking like my character in the background there that I made, from a doof, you can play half the game looking like a doof and then change it up, so now you're looking a little bit more like a realistic character. I've also got in here different clothing stores that you can wind up making your guy just look like a redneck Jeff. You could make him Pimp Master McDaddy, a little college prep boy, or just put on some classic trailer trash clothes and go around as a little trailer park character throughout the whole game. Through this game, my personal review score would be about an 8 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10. Really enjoyed it. Absolutely loved everything about it. This is what, to me, put Saints Row on the map. Again, I read other reviews from different reviewers. Most people who actually played the game seem to enjoy it. Looking at websites and people who are paid to do reviews, they didn't really enjoy it quite as much. But if we had co-op, I might have given this a 10 out of 10. On the newer console like the Series X that I was playing, I did notice that the controls were a little bit funky, back in the 360 days, didn't notice any clunkiness then when I put it onto my 360, just more on the port onto the new console. If you're bored and you're getting hyped for the new Saints Row, this would definitely be, let's play it. Let's play Saints Row 1. Let's see where they came from. Let's see how everything goes. You're going to have a good time. I haven't touched Saints Row 1 probably in 4 or 5 years. Now with the new Saints Row coming out, I was like, you know what? Let's make a YouTube. Let's do a quick review on it. Let's replay it. Loved it. Just loved every minute of playing Saints Row 1. It's your boy Citywide Soul. Please comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know too in the comment section below. Did you enjoy Saints Row 1? Was it your favorite? Stay tuned. Saints Row 2 video is coming out soon. Thanks for watching. Peace out.